So this is quite an awkward situation.
Hi, I'm Scarlett and I'm starting a permaculture project here on the east coast of Mallorca. Follow along as I document the whole process of transforming this derelict piece of land into a food forest.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Son Selva. It is the end of January, the sun is shining, and I managed to do quite some tasks this month, even though I technically am not the owner of this property yet. For those of you who are new to this channel or just haven't understood the point where I am right now, because I didn't explain it very well, to be honest, I am still in the process of buying this property. It can take quite a while to buy a property here in Spain, especially if there are some open questions that have to be cleared before signing a contract. So I have signed a pre-contract this summer, and I am still waiting to finalize the contract and to be able to call this my own. So this is quite an awkward situation because I am allowed to be here on the land, and I can see all the things that need to be done or could be done, and I am very excited to start this project and to transform this still quite wild looking piece of land into something very beautiful and very fruitful in the future. I am still waiting for the property to be ready to finally be sold to me. So I am still not investing in any kinds of big actions on this property, but some things just can't wait, or at least I can't wait to start with, even though this property technically doesn't belong to me yet. One of the things is to cut back this vine, which is completely overgrown, and I have been observing it for almost a year now, since I first stepped on this property, and there was literally no fruit at all last summer or autumn. So if I wait another year, this vine might be dead until I can finally start working on this project. So I better start cutting it back now and hope that it will somehow survive the next year with a little bit of help. This one looks like it has some new shoots, so I think I'll just cut back here and basically cut back the rest that is growing on here. So usually there's actually quite a strict plan how to cut back a vine for it to produce more fruit, but honestly here is quite a mess because it's hard to figure out which of the branches grew last year. Luckily I've already been on this property quite some times, even during summer and autumn. So I do know that it was already dying last summer, and there were only a very few branches that were still alive. So I'm trying to find these couple of branches and cut them back to the first two eyes. That's what it's called in German. I don't know what the word is in English, so just like the buds that aren't sprouted yet. And I'll cut back everything else that is already dead. But the goal is that the plant focuses all its energy to the few branches that I leave that were growing last year, which will produce new shoots for this year, and they will carry some grapes, hopefully. I didn't manage to finish cutting back that vine, but luckily I got some guests coming over from Switzerland soon. They're actually part of my team there. For those of you who don't know, I own an urban garden company back in Switzerland called Urban Roots. I'll link that in the description below. If you're interested in starting a garden or buying organic seeds and you live in Switzerland, go check it out. So my teammates, they're actually more experienced when it comes to cutting back vines and trees, so they're gonna help me out. Good morning. Today I got a delivery I've been waiting for quite a while, which is actually a late Christmas gift from my parents. Thank you very much for fulfilling my little bit unconventional Christmas gift wishes. And I'm also very excited to announce that this here is going to be the very last bottle of water that I'm going to buy for the foreseeable future. Because what I wished for Christmas was a water filter. I went for the Berkey filter, the travel version, which is a bit smaller than the regular one, I guess, because it just fits right under the cabinets, and I think it would be enough water for me. It holds more or less exactly the volume of one of these bottles I usually buy, or I used to buy at the store, so I think it will be fine for me. After reading the instructions, I'm going to prime the filter purification elements I got
and then it should actually already be ready to go. For me, this is quite an exciting moment because coming from Switzerland, I'm used to the best water quality probably in the world, just coming out of my tap. And so, living here in Spain, it was quite a change, always having to buy water, and also thinking about the future when I'm going to live off grid. I will definitely be needing a water filter because I will not be having any tap water there. So this is gonna help me filter the rainwater too. Priming these elements was more messy than anticipated, as you might be able to see, but I think I managed to let them sweat in the end, which is what it says it should do on the instructions. So I'll just put them in and start filling it up with water.
The Berkey filter is an effective water purification system designed to provide drinking water for everyday use. Water from almost any source can be poured into the upper chamber of the unit, and by the time it reaches the lower chamber, it is free from bacteria, viruses, heavy metals like mercury and lead, disinfectant byproducts, parasites, as well as radon and pesticides. The microscopic topography of the surface of the filter elements contain millions of tiny holes that let water pass through. These holes are so tiny that pollutants physically cannot pass through. It removes sedimentary minerals but keeps beneficial ionic minerals, which is one reason why I decided to buy this filter against others. So minerals such as calcium, sodium, potassium and magnesium pass through the filter. Sedimentary minerals such as chloramine and chloride are removed from water along with heavy metals. Some days later, Brigitte and Martin arrived and helped me cutting back that vine. It wasn't an easy task, but it was much easier doing it together. We marked the branches that were alive to make sure we wouldn't accidentally cut them in this big mess.
Man muss noch definieren, aber das ist der Labig. Nein, warte mal. Ja, das ist der Labig. Der hast du gesagt.
And this is the final result. It looks so much better, don't you think? Besides cutting back the vine, there was one more task that needed to be done now, because it was much easier to do it in January and it will help to protect the pine trees on the land. Being a soon-to-be landowner comes with a responsibility. And so we took care of one of the biggest pests in coniferous forests in the Mediterranean, the pine processionary. The pine processionary is a moth known for the irritating hairs of its caterpillars and the economic damage they cause to coniferous forests. They overwinter in tent-like nests high in the pine trees, and once hatched, proceed through the forest in nose-to-tail columns, which gave them their name. Around the beginning of April, the caterpillars leave the nests, one after the other in a row. They burrow underground, pupate, and emerge between May and August. Pine processionary caterpillars defend themselves from predators with conspicuous hairs, containing an irritant chemical. Simple contact with the hairs of the caterpillar can cause severe rashes in humans and other mammals, and some may have an allergic reaction. Unfortunately, this caterpillar doesn't really have a lot of natural predators, so the easiest way to get rid of them is to burn the nests before they hatch. Since we needed some wood to start the fire, we decided to cut back the first almond tree anyway, even though it is technically not my tree yet. It will take another couple of months until I can finally call this place my own, so I am still somehow waiting to start, but at the same time I already have started a long time ago, because this whole project started basically, I would say, 4 years ago, when I decided to fulfill my dreams, and I created a business plan first, and then I had to figure out how I am going to pay for all of this. And then there were so many other steps that I had to do before I could even move here for a couple of months to first start looking for properties and so on. So this is a very long process, and it will take many years to transform this land into this beautiful food forest I have in my mind. So if you want to figure out how this is all going, hit the subscribe button, and I'm sure we will have quite some adventures here in the next couple of years.